Not anymore. Not since a month ago.
Okay.
It's okay.
Let's check. Well, I knew you were going to be here because it's Constitution Week.
I know.
Did you want me to read and you accept, or did you read and accept?
I don't care, whatever.
You accept it for yourself.
Might use my multiple personalities.
Do you want to,
I know this is on, right?
I'll have you.
Just do a council, they could help you with that.
It's hot too.
Yeah. Okay. I knew.
All right. Well, now that,
I'm now an LPC. Associate.
well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Trophy Club Town Council meeting for September 13th, 2022. The time is now 7:01. We are now in session. I'll call us to order with all council members present, for the exception of Councilman Sheridan, and due to some technical difficulties, he will not be able to participate remotely this evening. Before we do get started, though, I do want to offer our condolences on behalf of myself and all of council to the family of Dr. Hicks. Dr. Hicks, as most of you probably know, was our superintendent for Northwest ISD, having taken on the position only 4 short months ago. We had met, and staff and myself, with Dr. Hicks, and even in that short time, we all knew that he was going to be an inspiring leader for our schools and our children, and not only that, but an integral part of our community. And I know that staff and students and parents and admin are devastated with the unexpected loss, and I know he will be greatly missed. So we just wanted to offer our condolences to the family, and definitely you're in our thoughts and prayers. And with that, Pastor Jeff Brooks, will you please lead us in a revocation?
Let's bow together. Lord, for your loving kindness and your tender mercies, make us grateful. Lord, our hearts, our minds, our thoughts are turned towards those who have lost loved ones this week. Some were heads of state, some were heads of school districts, and some were just the head of our household. And so bind up those wounds and hold those folks close to you. Lord, for the women and the men of this esteemed body, we pray that you give them wisdom and patience. Father, for our protectors, for our first responders, for our firemen and policemen that serve our community, we pray your protection. And Lord, help us just to be a little bit more neighborly to the folks that live in and around this area. We thank you for your love and your good care. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Now, Councilman Margot, lead us in the pledges.
Please join me as we honor our nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Next, we have public comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to address the council on any matter. The council is not permitted to discuss or take action on any presentations made. Presentations are limited to matters over which the council has authority. Speakers have up to 4 minutes, with a time limit determined by the presiding officer. Each speaker must have submitted their request to speak by completing the speaker's form, or they may email mayorandcouncil@trophyclub.org. Do we have any speakers this evening? Okay, moving on to announcements and reports. We have Miss Maya Jones and her 2 lovely daughters from Comrade Thai, our new restaurant in Trophy Club. Please come to the podium and tell us all about it.
Wait, we have a Thai restaurant?
We do. They're going to tell you. Look at those pictures.
Yes, my name is Wanasanan Jones. Is my first name. Wanasanan is hard to pronounce, so I call me by Maya. And this is Puji, my daughter, and Yumi. We come from Thailand 12 years already, and we moved from Washington on January. So we have an opportunity to open a small business in Trophy Club. And I would like my daughter to speak for me because my English is not good.
Your English is
You're
just
doing great.
fine.
well.
And it's certainly better
Thank
than
you.
Better than mine.
Better than my tie, exactly. Absolutely.
Well, it's always been our dream to open up like a restaurant, and my grandma and my mom are pretty much the cook of the house. And pretty recently, well, not recently, 4 months before we moved to Texas, I worked at a boba place, and so I was a barista, and I became a boba addict. And so I told my parents, why don't we just put the world of sweetness and spice together and make it, so people can enjoy the best of both worlds. And so at Come Right Thai, we offer, signature drinks menu for our boba teas as well as custom drinks. So if you want to mix and match your own flavors, toppings, you can do that too. And then right now we have like a soft open menu. So our food items consist of like snacks as well as the new additions that we added, which is pad thai, pad see ew, 3 different curries, and fried rice, stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys all get a chance to come and stop by and see us. And, we would love to greet new faces as well.
Absolutely. Well, we've heard nothing but good things so far, and everyone's always asking, where do we get boba? Where do we get boba? And everyone's been recommending your place there. So definitely something needed in our area. We're super excited to have you here, and I love hearing about the new menu items. Oh my goodness, I know that we're all going to be over there very soon to try you out. And best of luck to you, and welcome to Trophy Club. We are so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Where specifically are you located?
In Wonderland Plaza. So you know where the old Juice and Roots used to be? So we're in that spot.
Right across from the high school.
Yes.
And your hours are?
So on Mondays, we open from 3 to 7, Tuesday to Thursday, 11 to 8, Friday, Saturday, 11 to 9, and then Sunday, 11 to 7.
Okay, and do you have a website or Facebook page with you?
Yes, so our Facebook page is just Come Right Thai. Our Instagram is comeright_Thai. And then our website is it's on our social media. So there's a link on there. You guys
That's all
can
you need.
Yes.
And it's KOMRAITHAI.
Yep.
For those that want to check out their Facebook page and to check out their hours, and as they edit their menu, you can check for changes there as well. Okay. Anyone else? Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being here, and can't wait to come by. Thank you. Okay, item number 2, we have issuance of proclamation 2022-13, proclaiming September 17th through September 23rd, 2022 as Constitution Week in Trophy Club.
Sure.
Nice big font.
Almost don't need my glasses. It's an honor to read this because my, I believe, 7th great-grandfather was a member of the Continental Army. So I'm a member of the Sons of the American Revolution, and 2 times, actually, by 2 different lines, but my father's father, all the way back, like 9 times. So, Proclamation 2022-13, Town of Trophy Club, Texas. A proclamation of the Trophy Club Town Council supporting Constitution Week, September 17 through September 23, 2022 in Trophy Club. Whereas our founding fathers, in order to secure the blessings of liberty for themselves and their posterity, did ordain and establish a Constitution for the United States of America, and whereas it is of the greatest importance that all citizens fully understand the provisions and principles contained in the Constitution in order to effectively support, preserve, and defend it against all enemies, and whereas the 235th anniversary of the signing of the Constitution provides a historic opportunity for all Americans to remember the achievements of the framers of the Constitution and the rights, privileges, and responsibilities they afford us in this unique document. And whereas it is the privilege and duty of all Americans to commemorate the 235th anniversary of the ratification in convention of the Constitution of the United States of America with appropriate ceremonies and activities. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Alicia L. Fleury, in conjunction with the Trophy Club Town Council, do hereby proclaim September 17 through 23, 2022 as Constitution Week in Trophy Club, Texas.
I move to pass the proclamation as read.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? And we unanimously approve that. And thank you to Councilman Sheridan, who couldn't be with us tonight, for bringing forth this. And it was his wish that we present this to you, Carl.
Yes.
One and done, Greg. You see how that's done?
Yes, they have that working.
Those bad ones of you, when they come out, I'm going to post them.
Of me? It couldn't be me.
Here, next proclamation is 2022-14, proclaiming September is Live United Month in Trophy Club. A proclamation of the Trophy Club Town Council supporting the month of September 2022 as Live United Month in Trophy Club. Whereas United Way of Denton County has been identifying Denton County's needs and responding to them for over 69 years, and whereas United Way of Denton County is unparalleled in the power to assemble partners, providers, and resources to address the needs of neighbors in crisis, and whereas United Way of Denton County leads the effort to provide greater opportunity for every person in Denton County and works with a network of nonprofits, governments, and businesses across the county to respond to our community's immediate needs and seek out better solutions for larger community-wide issues. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Alicia L. Fleury, in conjunction with the Trophy Club Town Council, do hereby proclaim September 2022 as Live United Month in the town of Trophy Club, and proudly join the United Way of Denton County in calling on all residents of Trophy Club to give, advocate, and volunteer as we live united to build a healthier Denton County for all of us. I move to pass the proclamation as read.
Second.
Okay, I have a second by Councilman Mager. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes unanimously. And this evening, we do have some ladies from our Denton County United Way that I would like to invite up to the podium. We have Ms. Carol Ann Simmons and Jessica DeRoche, both with the board, and also staff member Sharon Lee. If you ladies like to come up and say a few words about United Way of Denton County.
I just want to thank you all for supporting United Way by reading this proclamation. And Anita has been wonderful to work with. I appreciate her very much. And just thank you for supporting United Way this way.
Good evening. I also would like to say on behalf of United Way in Denton County, thank you all for your support. And we also would like to encourage you to please take a look at our website. Our current needs assessment is out. And while we have a great community and county that we live in, we still have a long way to go. So we please encourage you to take a look at unitedwaydenton.org. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's unitedwaydenton.org.
Correct.
And you do have quite the current needs assessment list, and any little bit helps, whether it's time or donations, whether it's an hour or $1, every little bit helps. It's a great organization. Like we read in the proclamation, 69 years of service, and we certainly appreciate your service, and thank you so much for being here. And if you'll stay right there, I'll bring the proclamation down. And our last proclamation for the evening is proclaiming September as Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month in Trophy Club. A proclamation of the Town Council of the Town of Trophy Club. Did we vote on that last one? I'm sorry.
We did, yes.
We did. Okay, I'm sorry.
You made the motion.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Didn't skip anything. Proclamation of the Town Council of the Town of Trophy Club, Texas, supporting September 2022 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Whereas September is known around the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and is intended to help promote awareness surrounding each of the suicide prevention resources available to us and our community. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background. And whereas more than 48,000 people die by suicide across the United States each year, with an average of 132 suicides completed daily. And whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults and the 2nd leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 years old and 34 in the United States. And whereas each and every suicide directly impacts a minimum of 100 additional people, including family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, and community members. And whereas the Town of Trophy Club is no different from any other community in the country, but chooses to publicly state and place our full support behind educators, mental health professionals, community leaders, and parents as partners in supporting our community and simply being available to one another. And whereas organizations such as American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, National Institutes of Mental Health, Veterans in Crisis, Suicide and Crisis Center of North Texas, Gallant Few, and the new 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provide research, resources, and support in order to spread awareness and prevent suicide. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Alicia L. Fleury, in conjunction with the Trophy Club Town Council, do hereby proclaim September 2022 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. I move to pass the proclamation as read.
Second.
I have a second by Councilman Monger. All in favor? And unanimously passes. And Carl, I would like to present to you this proclamation as well for all the work you do with Gallant Few.
Before we do that, can I make a quick
Absolutely.
statement? So, gosh, it was about, I want to say maybe 4 years ago now, that my best friend that I grew up with, my opinion was his civilian occupation was taking up too much of his time, so he didn't have any time for me. So we kind of grew apart, and we didn't talk for the better part of a year. And before that, we talked several times a week. This is all the way back to the 8th grade. And one day I get a call from a mutual friend who says, hey, when's the last time you talked to Bill? And I said, yeah, I have time for me. He's busy with his job, and he's got all these important life things. And she said, well, he's going through a divorce, and it's very, very acrimonious. And I'm really, really worried about what he's thinking about. And so I immediately picked up the phone and called him. And when he answered the phone, he had a weight to his voice that I had never heard before. And immediately I asked him, are you thinking about killing yourself? And for 30 seconds, he didn't say anything. Longest 30 seconds of my life. And the next day I drove from here to Topeka, Kansas, to spend the weekend with him, because when you're in that stage, you're not thinking clearly about what the right decisions are to make. You're only thinking or only feeling the pain that you're feeling. And I found out a year ago when I called him that what he was doing when I called was he was looking around his apartment for bullets for his gun, because the friend that we talked about had taken them and hidden them because she was really worried about him. So you've got to watch out for each other, and the person that's in that state is not going to watch out for themselves. And if you know somebody that's going through divorce, or they're isolated, or they're being bullied, you got to ask them, are you okay? Are you thinking about killing yourself? And you got to say it like that. You got to say, are you thinking about killing yourself? Because studies have shown that asking someone if they're thinking about killing themselves doesn't, oh, I never thought of that before. You don't put the thought into their head by asking them, right? So you got to be right up front. And if you know them and you love them and they love you, they'll be honest, and you know. So you just got to make sure that they remember that they're loved and they're needed, and keep them around.
Thank you. For our kids and our students also, there are anonymous ways that you can reach out to the schools. If you're worried about someone, also tell a teacher, a pastor, a friend, a parent, and say something. If you see something, say something, and you could save a life. And it's worth it. If you can just save one life, it's definitely worth it to speak out, and don't be afraid to. And we need to take the stigma away from mental health issues, and we need to talk about it. And we do need to say the word suicide and killing yourself, because that makes it real. and it's not so taboo to talk about, because it's something that in the past has been kind of swept under the rug and kept quiet. Well, that's the worst thing, because then no one gets help. And through proclamations like this and organizations and our Campaign for Kindness and things like that, and community initiatives that bring issues like this to the forefront, where people talk about these things. Kids need to talk about these things. They need to hear about these things. I know our schools are doing a great job with introducing to curricula suicide awareness and signs and how kids can look out for each other. And it's so important. So parents, talk to your kids. You know, friends, talk to your friends. Family, talk to your family, just like Carl said. And something simple, just asking a question, can literally save a life. So I encourage you all to go to some of these websites and read about it, read about the signs, and read about how you can help and how you can spread awareness. And Carl, thank you for all the work you do with your organization, both professionally and personally, to help spread awareness about suicide and prevent suicide.
I thought he was going to take a second one.
Okay, we're down to our consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda items 5 through 9.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by Councilman Beach. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, we unanimously pass it. Okay, item number 10, conduct a public hearing regarding the proposed tax rate for fiscal year October 1, 2022 to September 30th, 2023, and Town Manager Carroll will speak to us about that.
Good evening, Mayor, Lurie, and council members. Back on August the 9th, 2022, this council passed the do not exceed, or the not to exceed tax rate at 435 cents per $100 valuation. That tax rate was above the no new revenue rate, which was calculated at 0.40858, and it was between the voter approval rate, which is the maximum that the council could approve without going to their citizens for a vote, and the de minimis rate of 43205 per $100 valuation. The proposed tax rate is the number that we calculated the approved budget upon. If there's any changes that are required, that'll just be a budget change that we'll have to go back and make if the approved number changes whatsoever tonight. Of the 435 tax rate, 33.5 cents goes to M&O, and approximately 10 cents is going to the INS rate, or interest and sinking. And with that, I'm available for any questions that anybody in the public or the council may have.
Okay, we can open up the public hearing at 7:38 p.m. And do we have anyone signed up to speak? Okay, well, we will close it at 7:23 and 30 seconds.
That's got to be a record.
Is someone on iPad coming up as me?
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I don't want to step on you.
I don't think I pushed them.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-11, approving the tax roll of the Denton Central Appraisal District and Tarrant County Appraisal District for 2023.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by Councilman Flynn. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And it passes unanimously. Okay, we're on 11.
So, Mayor, the motion that was just made was number 11, I believe, for the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But I will...
Do we have to do a roll call for that one? Or is that
No, no,
item
that's
12?
We'll let them do a roll call on the next one. So I would like to tell council, the packet that went out on Friday and the packet that went out to the public on Friday, we only had preliminary numbers from Denton County. We did not receive those final numbers until yesterday. So at each place, At the dais, you guys have a copy of the latest numbers, the approved tax roll numbers from Denton County. We also have copies available at the back of the room for anybody that shows up in person, and Jill will be posting that information to our website on our newest webpage for the budget review. So that information will be available to the public. There was a slight change. The slight change was in the amount that will be collected. The amount will be collected, we saw an increase in that number of a little over $6,000 out of a $2 billion collection. So a very small change. But it does have an effect on the tax rate. The tax rate will have to go down from 435 to 434,779. But it is in your packet and in the ordinance that was just read.
And while you're there, for item number 12, you can update us on the municipal ad valorem taxes.
So I simply approving, this item is simply approving our ordinance that approves the tax rate at that number that I just mentioned, the 434,799.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2022-28, fixing and leveling municipal ad valorem taxes for the town of Trophy Club's fiscal year beginning October 1, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023, effective October 1, 2022. Madam Mayor, this requires a roll call vote.
Second.
Okay, the motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont, and second by Councilman Monger. Any discussion? And we will do a roll call vote. Councilman Flynn?
Yay.
Councilwoman Oldham? Aye. Councilman Monger?
Yay.
Myself, yay. Mayor Pro Tem Lamont?
Yay.
And Councilman Beach?
Yay.
Okay, that passes with 6. Okay, item number 13, take appropriate action approving resolution 20-22-12, authorizing the annual service and assessment plan for the Emergency Services District for the Town of Trophy Club, Public Improvement District Number 1, and the proposed assessment roll. Mr. Farrell.
Thank you, Mayor. Annually, we're required to set a public hearing date and include the annual district service and assessment plan for the emergency services agreement. If you recall, the fire department is paid for by the MUD, is funded by the MUD, but run by the town. The EMS services are funded by the town. What this does with the emergency assessment plan is it allows those individuals that do not live in the MUD but live in the PID for the town. That assessment plan is how we receive the funds to run the MUD. I'm sorry, to run the fire department. The MUD gives us their funding from those homeowners that live in the MUD to pay for the fire department, their portion of that property tax, and then we do the same thing with the PID. So this item is simply just to set a public hearing date so that any members of the public, especially the members of the PID, have any question about their service or about the taxes that they're receiving through that, and have the opportunity to speak to us about it.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-12, authorizing the annual service and assessment plan for the Emergency Services District for the Town of Trophy Club, Public Improvement District Number 1, and the proposed assessment roll, setting a public hearing date for September 27, 2022, and authorizing the publication of notice.
Second. Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by Councilwoman Oldham. Any discussion? All in favor? And it passes. Okay, the time is now 7:28 p.m. and council will recess into executive session. Pursuant to the following... Oh, I don't have a 15. Oops.
No, okay.
Pursuant to the following designated section of the Texas Governmental Code, annotated Chapter 551, Texas Open Meetings Act, the Town Council will recess into executive session to discuss the following. A, Section 551.087, Economic Development, deliberate economic development negotiations regarding prospective commercial projects within the Town of Trophy Club. B, Section 551.071, Attorney-Client Privilege, Number 1, Norwood versus Trophy Club. And C, Section 551.074, Personnel Matters, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and dismissal of a public officer or employee. Number 1, boards and commissions. Number 2, Texas Municipal League Risk Pool Board of Trustees. We are now in executive session. This keeps coming, I see. It keeps popping up.
Just all by itself?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep the man happy.
reconvening back into regular session. The time is now 8:38 PM.
I make a motion to vote for the following candidates for the Texas Municipal League Intergovernment Risk Pool Board of Trustees. Place 7, James Hot Pop. Place 8, Mike Land. Place 9, Opal Malden Jones.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lott and a second by Councilman Flynn. Any discussion? All in favor? And it passes. Thank you, and good night. We are adjourned at 8:39 PM.